Yeah, I forgot to mention something. This shouldn't be too long. Wait for the notification to go out real quick. Hey, pal. Yeah, I just had a live and I forgot to talk about one more thing that I need to get off my chest here, so this shouldn't be very long. If I can here. Hold on. Well, I can. I can't see chat on this format, so I gotta get my other phone here so I can see chat. Give me just a second here. I have to put this on the chart. Yes, it's about dead. Uno. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. We'll get down to it here. Damn it. I knew I'd forgotten something. I started to talk about it and then Ryan came up and I got distracted. I think that was the time that I forgot about it. This shouldn't be very long. All right. Anyways, sorry about this. All right. So, for those who were in short buses last night, was it last night or this morning? Good Lord. I can't even think. Pretty sure it was last night. Yeah, it was last night. So I was up having insomnia issues again, and short bus went live. So I went over there. He was doing a late live. I think it was like 11 o'clock my time, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, so I jumped into chat. I was like, you know what? Oh, I'll say hi to a few people and and then just listen. That's what I usually do. On a lot of channels, I'll just say hi and say a few things and then just put it on full screen without the chat and just watch and listen. So everything was fine. Everything was peaceful. Um, we were all having a good time. And then Mr. Mushroom Tea, as you guys know, is Cigar Face. He went by Cigar Face, Steel Dawn, for those who don't know. Nightly Narcotics. He always said his first name on when he was Mr. or Cigar Face, David, on his channel. That's how I know his name. So that's not a dox. Of course, he came in and says, Jeff's doxing. You have a moderator that's doxing. Yeah, well, he was sitting there talking shit about my family. And I just say, like, something like, come on, knock it off. Even the short buses say, knock it off to Mushroom Tea, Mr. Mushroom Tea. And I said something like, Steel Dawn, knock it off, or something of that nature. And then he just kept going. We were having a peaceful time. And even the short bus was getting pissed. And then he kept going on and just kept going on, and so I went along with some of the jokes he was, trolling about, and he said, "Jeff sleeps in a kitty litter box." I said, "Comfy." He said, "LOL," and I was like, "Okay, whatever, we'll just joke around and troll each other back." Well, then he started talking about my family and some other stuff, so I said something in the nature of, "Knock it off, David." I already said Steel Dawn, and then I said, "Oh," he cried, "Jeff's doxing. You have a moderator in your chat doxing. Dix," and then they were coming and saying, "That's what the Onionites do." And I'm like, I'm not, I'm me. I'm just me. I'm not a knight or a Vidian of some sorts. I am just Southwest Jeff. So nothing against Onion at all. I'm just saying, I'm not anything. I am just me. Anywho, so thankfully, Short Bus and I do have each other's phone numbers. So I did contact him and let him know, which I even said it in there. I erased the comment because most people in there in that particular chat are not around the panel community like we are, if that makes sense. They're mostly in the Alex catches and all that jazz. So they don't know all the history like I do, and some of us know. Yes, he always showed his face. He always said David. That's not a dox, but That's just what they do to stir up shit, and by the way, I didn't start anything. I was being kind. I always try to come into chats kind. I usually come in and say hi to people, and then I drop links, and then I'll make a comment or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. That's usually about it, unless it's like one of those Hoax Wars panels, like those, ones all night where things are kinda getting a little wild. Sometimes I'll chat a little more, obviously. Other than that, I don't come in hot. He did. And then, another person, which I believe is one of Ed's alts, came in and was kinda talking a little shit, but it was mainly, Mr. Mushroom Tea, which if nobody knows, that's Steel Dawn, AKA Nightly Narcotics, AKA Cigar Face, AKA David, I don't remember, he's used so many different names, I can't even remember them all. So anyways, I wanted to clear that up, and I was getting to that, and then Ryan got me off course. I know what Ryan's trying to do, I'm not stupid. Um And clown, I couldn't hardly hear you. I literally I have to rewatch to hear what you said because I couldn't even hardly hear what you said, and then Ryan kept talking over you, so I was just like, "Screw it, I'm gonna mute for a second." And then he drops down as I'm trying to answer his question. Like, and then he lied and said, "I wasn't friends with Clown for 2" Yes, he was. Was he not? I mean, even when me and you were fighting, Clown, remember that? And Nunya and whatever? Well, wasn't Ryan in all the freaking Zooms and what's that other place called? Um, I can't even not Threads, what's it called? Slack, whatever you guys call it. I joke around all the time and say, "Hey, check Slack," which is just IG. I don't have Slack, I don't have Threads, I don't have, what do you call it? Discord, I don't have Gilded. Um, but yeah, Ryan, Lion Ryan, Ryan. You lied and said that you were not friends with Clown, but you were. Am I not right? He was cool with yeah, Clown even said he was cool with me. He wanted me wean. Jeez. Start over. Freaking Clown Force. No, yeah, I remember Clown? I don't know if you remember, we talked about it a long time ago and buried the hatchet. I was like, "Look, I don't agree with what you said," but I also just like you even said, it's like you were being ganged up on, and now we know was an actual pred, Ed. It was on his panel, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, obviously. And they were ganging up on you, and so you said what you said, and you bailed. And it freaked a lot of us out. It really did at that time. Um, and but yeah, you got angry. You said a dark joke, and that's what you do. Do I agree with it? Would I say something like that personally? No. But, according to Ryan, because we're e-friends or we chat or whatever on YouTube on occasion or go up on each other's panels and whatnot, in Brian's mind, where I guess that, I don't know what he thinks. Ryan, you got no offense, Ryan, seriously, no offense, but Ryan, you need more life experience. You've never raised children. You never had a wife or husband. You I won't even mention the rest, okay? You don't have the life experience that many of us do. You just don't have that, and hopefully you will someday. And you don't know anything about other stuff. Say pop culture. I mean, Ray's the master of pop culture. I'll even say Constantine is the master of pop culture. They know a lot about pop culture. I know an average amount, maybe a little above. But I'm not that great when it comes to pop culture. I get some water. But Ryan likes to take every little thing, like a lot of people do, and blow it up like a freaking blowfish or a balloon to make it look like Jeff supports what he no, and I was very clear about that. It's just like when, like I said about Bobby, when he said what he said, do I support what he said? No. And for a while, we were friends, we talked on the phone, and then he came up on my which is on my channel. He came up on my panel and admitted that he talks to Ed every day. I booted him and blocked him from my phone and everything. I haven't heard from him since. Haven't even seen him around, except for probably an alt here or there. That's it. And also, thank you for showing me about the Jonathan Robbins situation because, like I said, that's all I knew about. Um, Wait a minute here. Hold on. Unfreaking believable. All right. Oh, I just saw something. Oh, it's unbelievable. These people just think they know everything. They really sincerely do. They think they know everything. I just saw something that I didn't know that was in my news feed trying to get to my channel here so I can see chat on my other phone. And I think I know who that is, but I'm not quite sure, just to be honest with you. But I think I know who that is, and I don't want to discuss it right now because of the ongoing situation. But I got it. I got it. All right. Oh shit! I didn't know everybody was here. But yeah. So, short bus, are you here by chance? Short bus here. Short bus. Do I see short bus? Is short bus here? I've been trying to be nothing but a peacemaker. When him and Tommy both come in here together, they seem to get along sometimes, and they go back and forth, and then there's like, you know, look, just because people see snapshots of people's lives on YouTube for an hour or two, or maybe longer a week, maybe there's 10 hours a week you hear or see somebody on YouTube, it doesn't mean that's their entire life. It doesn't mean that that's their entire character. There's things that I say for a reason that nobody understands. And sometimes I get frustrated with it. I'm not going to lie. That's why I say trust the process. There was a lot of times where I was literally interrogating somebody with the process I learned a long, long time ago. It happened a couple times, like Jeff, you quit using kid gloves, and Jeff this, that." And then when I came out at the end and got them, then they're like, "Oh shit, Jeff." Then they understood. Just trust the process. Just trust the process. All right, who do we have here? Sorry, I keep saying that. We got Kyle, Rumsky, Saboteur, Kim, Clown. Ryan's still dripping out something. I don't know who that guy is. I don't want to say it. Does Jeff buffering or is it just me? I could be buffering. It doesn't look like I am. Bill, gangbang, Kim. Yeah, I'm so pissed at myself because this is one of the things I want to talk about before I ended it. We are all Jeff unites, says Clown. Kim Smith says, "Hey Jeff, Jeff, what about so mad at you?" I don't even talk about more. I don't even. I don't even. I didn't even think he was on YouTube anymore. I thought he left like months ago. I'm not. I don't have anything to do with that bullshit. This is ridiculous. Talk all he wants. He can talk all he wants. I don't care. I have nothing to do. I'm not even subscribed to whatever channel he has. I don't know anything about. Yeah. If he's that bored, let him be bored. Shell and Eric, what's up? OBM Forever, the panel channel. Ryan accepted a loan from you, Clown? Oh shit. But I thought Ryan said that you and him weren't friends. I loaned Ryan 40 bucks and then let him keep it, says Clown. Wow, okay. Ryan, I should have kept that panel going. I wish you would have told me this during the other. Maybe you did. I missed it. Good Lord. Wow. OBM Forever. What's up? Remix. What's going on? Remix Ultra. MK. Yeah, I got that. When I heard the Jonathan Robbins news, I got B and I and NGO on my bingo card. Yeah, I just literally learned about that like in about an hour or so before I went live. I saw it. Somebody post. There's a lot of people that post. I was like, what? Well, what is this? And so I screenshotted it, and then there was a short, I won't promote the person, and I was like, "Wow, are you" it's kinda almost like I hate to s it's almost, like, not surprising. Um, sad, but, somebody said he's facing life, so that just I don't know, it's crazy. This I'm telling you, I've always used to there's a couple panels I entitled "Preds Amongst Us." I'm telling you, and what is it with all the Preds being on friends with the Predvidians or whatever they're called? Isn't that strange how all the Miranda arrested, Predvidian. The new Jonathan Robbins, Predvidian. Bobby, aka Nevermore, Predvidian. Steel Dawn, Mr. Mushroom Tea, Predvidian. All these, I can, oh my gosh, how many can I go on? You guys come in chat. How many people have been caught up in this shit and they're all on the Predvidian side? It's insane. Absolutely insane. I don't understand it. Is my audio bad? There's nothing else I can do. I'm trying to, I don't know. Somebody said something about my audio is kind of, or I was buffering or something. No, it wasn't short bus. It was on short buses. But what happened is when I was telling Mr. Mushroom Tea to shush or something of that nature, he just kept going on about my family. I mean, we had a peaceful chat, and he literally came in and disrupted our peaceful time, and just came at me, just started coming after me out of the blue. And I'm a moderator in there. Okay, I didn't do anything. In fact, I kind of went along with some of it, just to hee ha ha, trying to whatever. And but anyways, and he started getting nasty. So I said, "Steel Dawn, just stop." I know. So he knows that I know who he is. Like nobody knew. Mr. Mushroom Tea is Steel Dawn, aka Nightly Narcotics, AKA Cigar Face, AKA David, AKA there was one name he had that had my face in it, Headbanging Jeff or whatever. I don't know how many names he's been through. Now he's Mr. Mushroom Tea. And then he yelled, "Dogs, Jeff dogs me. He said my first name. He dogs me." No. Anybody who used to watch Cigar Face's original channel, he always showed his face and had told everybody his first name was David. We all know that. Jeez. And of course, most of the people in there, if not all, did not know that. So to stop the chaos of everybody getting upset, I politely removed the comment. And then I, of course, texted on the phone to Short Bus and let him know. All right, so there's that. That's what I wanted to say. That's why I didn't start another panel. All right, let me catch up with chat. I see something going on here. All right. Okay, I got past that one. What's up? Chillin' Eric, Rumpsky, TPC. Scamula says you need my Cash App clown. Oh yeah, Scamula, I need to get on your Patreon. Um, is it an app I download? All right. What happened? Yeah, that one isn't surprising. Your audio is good. Thank you, Kim. Oh, for crying out loud. That's one of Scamula's favorite comments. I saw that. Almost every stream she comes in, and it's always for crying out loud. Matt Clown says M at symbol. I guess it's Matt or somebody in the morning too. I don't know what that. They are Clown Force says they are criminals. Uh, Coasties Flamer, something. It's your speech, no biggie. What did he say? I didn't see anything. I think Skama is asking Clown something. Take your retainer out. I don't have a retainer. Um, I've never had braces. I don't have a retainer. Pullover. Oh, pullover. There you go. That was another name he used. You're right. Pullover. That was another. Yeah, he's been through so many names. I can't keep up. But yeah, thank you for clear. Yeah, I forgot about pullover. I didn't know either, says Kim. Trans broccoli, whatever. Me and Cole. I don't even know who Cole is. Unless you know about that one dude, I don't think he's here anymore. That drove the garbage truck or something. I don't think he's in the community. I don't know. I don't know. You gotta understand, I'm sincerely not caught up with everything. I'm just not. Uh, will never make great content like everyone else. Lying people is what me and my cult does best. Trans broccoli woman wart slop said that. Clown4 says, "Pay me, scammy." Matt Morning says, "Clown." Scammy says, "I said you." I'm sitting here just okay, I think I'm caught up now. He is my garbage woman. Jeff says, "Trans broccoli woman wart slop." What a name. Trans broccoli woman wart slop. That's that's a mouthful right there. Jeez. Oh my gosh, that's freaking hilarious. I'm sorry, it sounded like a retainer speech. My apologies. No, it's just my probably me being congested. I don't know, it's just my voice. What did I miss? Oh gosh, I was about to end it again. Oh my goodness. It's something I forgot to talk about in the panel when when I hit end, I thought I stopped myself and I forgot I have it set on when the song ends, it automatically ends the stream. So I just went live because I wanted to talk about this too, which I just did. So Mr. Mushroom Tea, as everybody knows, is all those names I just mentioned. Nightly Narcotics, Cigar Face, Pullover, Steel Dawn, David, Headbanging Jeff. I forgot all the names. Anyways, he came into Short Buses last night, and it was peaceful. We were having a great time. And he started shit with me. So I just said something like, shush to Steel. I said, shush, Steel Dawn. Let him know I know who he is. Like I just know his alt. And then I said, David, for those who remember when he had the Cigar Face channel, he showed his face. He would always say his first name is David. And he cried dox. He goes, you have a moderator that's doxing me. But yet he's talking about my family. And that's okay. Not with nothing against Short Bus. Just mind you, I'm talking about him. He does nothing but talk about my children. He's obsessed with cum, which is disgusting, by the way. He is obsessed with that word. He's obsessed with the most horrific, disgusting things. I'm just going to stop because I don't want to interrupt the investigation. I don't want to interrupt anything that may be going on. You know what I mean? But I wanted to clear that up. There is no freaking doxing. Most people here, I'm sure, knows that freaking Pullover and Nightly Narcotics and all those other channels that he had. His name is David. Everybody knows that watched him. It's like my name's Jeff. My name Jeff. I didn't put his last name. I just said Steel Dawn, David. I'm just going through the different names that he used to have on his channel and blah blah blah. And that's probably him right there. Costisa Flamer. Come, Goblin, Zombie. See, that's something he would say right there. I'll have to rewind. That's pretty much it. That's in a nutshell. But yeah, I honestly knew nothing else about the Jonathan Robbins thing until you guys sent me the links. I had no idea. All I knew is I saw the screenshot and I saw a short. That's it. That's all I knew. That was about an hour when I was setting up the live, actually, I think. I was like, shoot, I might as well upload this screenshot, talk about this for a couple minutes. And thankfully I did because I was able to learn more. And now I got the whole list of charges and everything now. So thank you guys for leaving that there. Notice how they are obsessed with, yeah, that too. You're right, OB forever. OBM forever. They are. They're obsessed with the most perverted disgust. And the police look, ooh, they're so ignorant. They don't know they're being watched. And I've said it over and over and over for what, a year and a half now? They're watching. It's like they're so it's like they want to okay, who saw the Gideon Alex catch, which you can watch it on Gideon's or Alex, I think, has it on Locals, okay? You can watch it. They busted that guy, what was his name? Hulo or whatever, for having CSAM. Bunch of it, okay? I'm losing my train of thought. Let me just, how are they? They are always on the news every day. Something caught my attention. What the reason why I brought that up? Now I just lost my freaking train of thought. Damn it. Uh, freaking a. No, I'm not gonna. I don't need to come up. We need a desert. No, not until I get wireless mics. Last time I tried to walk and talk, it was just too freaking windy. Nobody could hear me. I gotta get one of those, I gotta get a couple of those, wireless mics with the socks on them that keep the wind out. Oh, my vape, yeah. Jeff, wipe your mouth, I can hear it. Go wash out your mouth with soap. But yeah, all they ever say is "cum" and "gay" and "zombie" and the most the horrific, disgusting things. It's like freaking, what's his name, Annoyed. He's got my children, and by the way, my Instagram is private. That's why I said, I confirmed a few people. I look who's following them back. So if I see like somebody in chats following them back and they have a couple hundred whatever and they're legit, okay, I may not know exactly who they are, but I ask people to message me first and let me know your YouTube screen name so I know who you are. And people are trying to get me to confirm them on Instagram without telling me who they are. And it's pretty obvious that some of them are up to nefarious situations. So I just don't accept everything on everybody on Instagram. You ever waxed your butt cheeks? No. I don't live in California. I don't do that shit. Oh, that's gross Hebrew. That must be Hebrew. The Costas, whatever, flamer. That's gotta be Hebrew. Or there's a couple other people I can think of too. I'll find out. I'll find out. So I was on okay, so I told y'all before, I have this group phone call thing. It's not internet, it's just our phones, and we have a lot of people and we have private talks. It's a multi-call conference call, if you will. And we talk about a lot of shit. And I think it was the last one we had. I said, it's pretty sad that I can look down at a chat and know almost every freaking real name of every freaking screen name. And I shouldn't know all that, but I do. Not everybody, of course, but it's just sad because of all the doxing, people doing nefarious shit IRL, and then the cops have to, of course, respond, like getting swatted, and they give me all these files of people, and it shows who they are, their records, and everything. I shouldn't have all of that. It's pretty crazy. I can look down and see an alt and pretty much, oh, that's so and so, their real names, and I have to catch myself at times not to say the real name, you know, like the last name especially. That's disgusting. Get the hell out of here. There's a fake oh wait, let me read it correctly here. Oh, they're saying CUM, but then they're obsessed with adult. Yeah, I guess they say things that they like I said last time, not this last stream before, but the last stream I had, whenever that was, a few days ago, last week, whatever that was. I don't know when the last time I went live was. I just don't remember. I'm too busy in real life touching grass and sand. But anyways, yeah, I talked about that last time. It's like they put things to paper, aka digital format, chat, if you will, comment section, whatever. Stuff that wouldn't even come out of my brain. I guess because I'm a Christian, the Holy Spirit blocks that nasty stuff from coming into my head. When I was drinking, some of my nasty self would come out, being I get extra angry and, say some stupid shit sometimes or whatever. But yeah, they say the most perverted, most horrific, disgusting things. And then you find out who they really are. And it's like, wow. And then the cop will show me like the file of who they and their record. It's like, well, no wonder why they don't like me or they don't like this catcher or don't like that decoy. I'm not even a catcher. It's been over 3 years since I had a catch. Over 3 years. I am not currently decoying right now. I am not currently catching. I am not a catcher. I am not a decoy. I thought about going back to decoying for other catchers, and you know what? I don't wanna be involved. The only way I'm gonna be involved is supporting the catchers and decoys financially and being there in chat, hitting the like button, etcetera. Sometimes I share it out to my community page. I support the catchers and decoys. Now, there's gonna be a couple times where a couple people is gonna come down that are catchers, and I might go on the catch with them, probably to film. That's about it, but I'm not a catcher anymore. So, uh, see, I love how the hypocrisy is only applicable to one side. Which side? Which side? There's more than 2 sides, literally. Alright, that person needs to get out of that. See, that's what I'm talking about. That shit right there. That's so just it's like, why say something? Who thinks of something like that? Do you like to roll around the grass and sand as a, you know what, gratification? Who thinks of something like that? You know what? Most of the people that say something like that are actual preds, literally. It's like you don't think like that unless you have a satanic disgusting mind, whether it be an adult pred who preys on women or a ped that preys on children, or you have an addiction to prawn, something. I mean, who thinks like that? It's disgusting. It's gross. Wait till you meet God one day. You can LOL all you want until you come face to face with God. When you come face to face with when the great white throne judgment happens, guess where I'll be? I'll be up there with God on the right hand of God, left hand. He's gonna be, and I'll be looking down at the people that are going being cast in the lake of fire, and you will see me. You'd be like, you're gonna see God, and God's gonna read out all of our sins, including mine. But guess what? I'm forgiven because I'm born again. So I'm going to heaven to be with my son, to be with my grandparents. Almost all my family's deceased. On my dad, almost everybody in my family's deceased. I have my brother, I have my siblings, and I have my folks, and, they're getting old too. Almost all my family's gone. People are trying to call deceased people in my family. I'm like, Dude, that person passed 16 years ago, and they're trying to call him live." I'm like, "Golly, how disgusting." It's just gross, man. Some of these people are just disgusting. And it just goes to show what I've been saying this entire time. A lot of people don't understand regular life, like a loving, caring family and a tight family unit, because they never had that. And I sincerely feel sorry for them, and I do pray for them. I know that non Christians won't understand that. I get that, and that's fine. But I do because the Holy Spirit lives in my heart. So the Bible says to pray for those that persecute you, pray for your enemies. So I do. I sincerely do. I sincerely pray for my enemies that they get saved. They get born again. I pray for everybody. I don't wanna see anybody perish and go to hell. Neither does God. It's in the Bible. He wishes that none should perish and all come to repentance. That's actual scripture. But people live for the now. You know, they live for now. The Bible says in Proverbs, I believe it's chapter 7, I could be wrong. It says, "Boast thyself not of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth." We don't know what today is later. We don't know what 2 hours is gonna bring. We don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. And then it's too late, and that's the scary part. It really is. It would be a horrible thing for somebody to just to die and drop into hell all because they thought they knew it all and were better than their creator here on earth. And that's just my opinion. You can take it however you want it, but that's from the Bible. But it's sad. All right, this person needs to go. Can one of my backup secret kind of mods take care of that person, please? I think they did already. All right, somebody did. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, you can hide that person. That's not a person I want in here. Yeah, they're probably another. I'll just take it down where I take it, and they'll tell me who it is, and if I need to do anything legal wise, I will do. Like everything else that's going on, the people have no clue. They have no clue. They're so ignorant. They're so ignorant. Seriously, these people are so stupid. They'll go and incriminate themselves on the internet thinking, well, Jeff's lying or so and so's Jeffing or so and so's lying or whatever. Oh my God. Okay. You can think what you want. Here, this is why I'm trying to stay away from the drama. I seriously am. I don't want to be, especially since I quit drinking. I don't want nothing to do with the drama. But some things have to be exposed. What's up, Bobby? I know more than my parents and they created me. So, yep. Haystacks, yo, bro. They lose again. Hey, Kim. Hey, Shelly. Buffhead's back. Rest in peace. YouTube represent. Actually, I got a call from the lady that was supposed to take over. I was so happy yesterday. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah. Apparently, yeah. I'll leave it at that. You're making drama. You're here making drama. Who is? I have a feeling that after that last panel, I was gonna put it on members, but I think I'm gonna leave it up to be honest with you. I think it did what I wanted it to do in a small degree for now, and I'll explain in full why I did that panel when I'm able to, because somebody did oh, I don't have it on all. Gosh darn it. So I had it on top chat, so I probably missed a lot of stuff. Hi, Shelly. Sorry. I don't know why it does that, but they should just put it on everybody's chat. I don't know what that's something that YouTube needs to change is the top chat and the all chat. OBM is scared of UD, says Urban Disciple. I don't know. You have to ask him. Oh my gosh, these people, I swear. Hell is not a party place, folks. It's fire and brimstone, eternal separation from God for eternity. And you get all your five senses in hell, and they're all just read the Bible, it explains it. It's very well explained. I don't wish that my worst enemy. My human side, my heart, I kind of feel bad. Hey, what's up there, Johnny's List? Good to see you. But we're supposed to, you know, we're supposed to be a light and a beacon and try to spread the gospel. And I haven't been very good at that lately, especially the last few years. So I kind of want to get back into a little bit of that in the side here and stuff. So, oh, is that who that was? Aha. Well, that makes sense. Oh, wait a minute. This dude, I think, is actually a convicted pedo. I don't have a StreamYard, so I can't show the picture, but I've showed it too many times anyways. Oh, good. I seriously, you're gonna use that profile picture again? Wow. Gee, I wonder who that account is. Ding. People are so stupid. Some people are so ignorant. Oh my gosh. You gotta do better than that. That's how we find out who you alts are. You're too sloppy about your alts. Anyways, so yeah, there was no doxing last night. Anyways, all right, folks. Sorry to bother y'all again. I do appreciate you being here. Oh my goodness. Can't please anybody. Can't please everybody, right? You're welcome, OBM forever. Dude, go away. Just one of the mods get rid of that. Just hide them. Thank you. Thank you to the other person too. Nobody here is scared of anyone. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of keyboard warrior stuff and oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And it's like keep incriminating yourself, keep incriminating yourself, keep incriminating yourself. Anyways, again, I don't want to be involved in all that drama stuff, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, there's reasons. There's always a reason for everything. They can do what they're gonna do, and I'm just I'm gonna let law enforcement do their job. I'm just gonna shut up about certain things. Not gonna talk about it anymore. I'll let them do their job and the attorneys and whatnot. So, oh, I'm not even sub to UD. Who's UD? Oh, Urban. Is that Urban Disciple? UD? I guess. I guess that's UD. Nobody's. I am not even sub to UD Jeff. I have been unsub to that idiot a long time ago because his lies about me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't been to Urban Disciples channel in a hot minute. It's well, one reason I'm just not logged in enough, so maybe I missed. I don't know. I don't visit a lot of channels anymore. I really don't. I just it's not much to watch anymore. Plus, I just been too busy. So, Mass One said he would end. He, I'm not going to read that out loud. Really? That's crazy. Never. Yeah, I'm completely lost on a lot of this stuff. So I'm sincerely, I really don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know everything. I just know the little what you guys are, and I don't know what's true and what's not. And then somebody sent me the information on Jonathan. I was like, wow, I had no idea. All I knew was that screenshot and a short that I saw before I went live. That's all I knew at that point. So I learned more today with receipts. I'm only sub to channels who tell the truth and have positive vibes. And that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, yep, I'm trying to have positive vibes. Unfortunately, I mean, even the exposure stream, the expose, whatever you wanna call it, if the certain people or peoples come, whatever comes up, I'm still gonna try to keep it as chill as possible, but whatever. It is what it is. It's not about drama, it's about exposure. If it needs to be, I'm still looking into it. We all, me and other people, we're looking into things, so we wanna make sure it's not a false flag, if you will, type thing, but, you know, I don't know what call you know what? People that keep asking me, look, I told y'all I don't have a date, and I won't have a date until it's set. When you see it pop up, upcoming, then you'll know. That's my answer. I have no idea. I may have to fly up north. My other family member that's in the hospital, teetering between 2 of them are teetering between life and death right now. So I may have to fly up north in a week or 2. I don't know. I simply don't know. I got too much real life stuff going on. I Today's just a day where it's a nothing day. Mondays are usually a nothing day for me. I'm usually busy on the weekends up until about 7, 6, 7, 8 o'clock usually. And then, yeah, I'm not giving any more of my personal whatever's out, but, I'll be on the lookout. Thanks, Jeff. No problem, White Claw. Somebody was I don't know if it was I'm not gonna say anything because I don't remember everything. White Claw, were you in short buses was it last night? Yeah, it was last night, wasn't it? Were you in short buses when that all happened? Notice that Jeff holds a stream and spreads positive vibes. Then here comes the sick. That's so true. Socks who are obsessed with being gay and trans. Exactly. It's like, or worse stuff. It's like stuff again, I don't understand it. The cops don't understand some of the stuff until he showed me the records, and it's like, oh, I get it now. They're, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy work, crazy stuff, crazy people. There's a lot of crazy people in this world, and now that we have the internet, that's where they're gathering around. They can hide behind a keyboard and a sock account, or they think they can. Um, they actually can't. The DOJ has a very good system at tracking down people. Trust me, I know. Literally. And that is the truth. Because somebody decided they want to fault SWAT me. Because see, every time something like that happens, I get more information from the police. That's how stupid they are. Think about that. Think about that for a second. I'm gonna say, let's see, I'm gonna swat Jeff and make up this story that he did this and pew pewed his family, and then of course there's got to be an investigation. And during that investigation, I'm questioned as well with a bunch of files they present to me. Do you know this person? Here's the screen name on YouTube. Here's their real name. Here's their charges. This is what, I gotta be, I'm gonna stop there because I'm gonna let law enforcement do their jobs. But it's the more they do, the more information I find out about them. It's just like they're literally incriminating themselves. It's insane. But they're too what was it, Waterboy, the coach? He's actually a country singer. He was on Smokey and the Bandit or whatever that show was back in the day. He's like, "Are you too stupid?" Talking at Adam Sandler and Waterboy. That's that's what comes to my mind when they go live or they put out a video or a comment or something, and I listen or read it, and I'm like, "Are you sincerely that so stupid?" Like, you just literally incriminated yourself. It's insane. But anyways, okay, enough with that. Alright, I'm actually probably gonna get off here because I don't wanna get in all that stuff, so that's enough. So the DOJ had warrants or subpoenas to unmask accounts. I'm not answering that question. I don't even know who you are. You used to be called the sock or or whatever. I don't know who you are. Don't know who you are. You're not my friend. You're not my family. So yeah, it's none of your business. You can take what I said how you want. But if you're too ignorant to understand that Alex doesn't have an investigate, and I don't know the outcome yet. Maybe he's at an outcome. Maybe Steph's been. I don't know. I'm not up to date on that situation. But you can ask Alex about his swatting, and yes, it is attempted murder. All right, that's the federal charge is attempted murder, depending on every circumstance or different circumstances rather. But yeah, and anybody that's involved. And yes, there are people that panel and that have a channel that were involved, from what I understand. Allegedly, I have to use that word. Allegedly. Oh, if it is, and just yeah, you know who's not welcome here. You can ban if you're positive that's who it is, you can ban that person. Jeff is just back to engagement being. No, I'm just talking. You're just butthurt or scared, worried, possibly. I don't know. I recognize that avatar. Okay, got that one. Yeah, if I were you, trolls and alts and what, just come in your regular account. I'd rather you come in your regular account and talk a little shit than come in an alt. I probably wouldn't even ban you as long as you keep it above the belt, obviously, and don't threaten people's lives and docs and all that stuff. If you come in on a regular account, I'd probably let you. But yeah, when I don't know who you are exactly, no, I'm not gonna let that slide. Come in and say it with your chest. Adam. Oh, he goes by that name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. Swatted Liz in Australia. When? Thank you, Shelly, for the sparkles. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Kim Smith, for the gold coin. Thank you. When did Liz get swatted? Wait, is that even possible? Wait. You can actually have somebody across the. Well, I guess you can. I guess you can. Never thought about that. That's crazy work. Liquefy. Oh, okay. On another. Okay. Now here's a way to change the subject. All right. I, I know people are going to get bored. I don't want to hear about this. It's boring. It's not drama. But anyways, apparently they're introducing. Which they already had a few down in the southern part of Arizona and New Mexico. They had a leopard that made its way up from I don't know central Mexico or somewhere, central Mexico or Central America, and then a jaguar. So apparently they used to be native, obviously, to the Southwest area, mainly Arizona, Southern California, and New Mexico, and so on. So apparently they're going to introduce the jaguar, at least the jaguars, back into Arizona and New Mexico, just like they reintroduced the Lobos, which is the name of our team. You know, the university's team is the Lobos, which is called the Mexican Wolf. They were pretty much extinct, or went south into the motherland of Mexico, if you will, as opposed to New Mexico. And now they introduced them back into the state. So now we got to worry about jaguars. as if, as if we have enough to worry about. We got rattlesnakes, we got scorpions, we got, well, tarantulas are pretty much harmless unless you're allergic to them. Black widows, brown recluses, centipedes, bears, freaking everything else. And then now we mountain lions. Now we got to worry about jaguars. And we used to have grizzly bears in New Mexico until I think it was the 70s or 80s, somewhere around there, and they just kind of went up north. Moose, we get some moose mainly in the northern part of the state, but getting farther down south here, I don't. Once in a blue moon, we'll get a moose that will pop down this far, but they're mostly up north. Three cops showing up is not a SWAT. Three cops usually show up on a routine police call. Wait, now I'm confused. So you talking about what they said about the swatting to Liz Frogger? Or I want a jaguar as a pet cat. I've actually seen some videos on YouTube where people do have them as pets. They raise them from cubs, like bears and stuff, and jaguars, leopards, tigers, all that stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I think they should be in their natural environment. But on the other hand, it would be cool. I agree with you on that. Yeah, I do too, Shelly. I love big cats. I watch a lot of like Nat Geo and stuff, like Africa, Australia. The Komodo dragons are pretty cool in Indonesia. Uh, there's some stuff in Asia, of course, Alaska, here in North America, South America. The Amazon, that's one of my favorite spots too. There are so many weird things in the Amazon and undiscovered stuff. I mean, it's insane. There's so much stuff. Like there's frogs, and there's like even a tree. If you touch the tree, you're gone. And then if you get bit by a certain snake, you're like gone, and like they call it the two-step snake is the slang term for it. I mean, I think that's the adder, the death adder in Australia. It's crazy. I'm gonna make it an attack cat. That would be a good one. I don't think if anybody tried to break in, you wouldn't even have to get out your pew pews. I think the just the presence of the jaguar alone would scare them away. Look at all these losers. They have to impersonate somebody. So don't you think I know that's not the real Wally? Good God. Unbelievable. Get a life. Get a life. I don't understand your I don't understand certain people. No, no, three police officers not constitute a SWAT. Special weapons and tactics response, typical SWAT deployment involves a heavily armed multi-officer tactical unit, often a dozen or more. Officers dispatched to handle extreme high-risk emergencies like active banks, barricaded suspects, and hostage situations. Yep. Frogadier. Spiders chase you. Spiders that chase you. Yeah. Uh, isn't that in Australia or Africa? I can't remember, or maybe there's both countries. You remember Fear Factor with No, depends on how old y'all are. Do you remember when Fear Factor came out around the same time? Oh gosh, what was it? There was Fear Factor, Rock of Love, freaking Osbournes back in the early 2000s. Well, there was one episode where they were at a casino in Vegas and they had the African cave spiders that they had to eat. Do you guys remember that? Whoever watched that? Oh, Iraq. Well, you probably seen some wild shit out there too. Well, besides the actual combat, you probably saw some wild scorpions, the real dangerous shit. But yeah, so one of the things that they had on there, if you guys remember, is whoever could eat. Now the spiders, they have these like little pinchers like scorpions, but they're not venomous or anything like that. But in the show, they were playing, I think it was craps or something, and they had to eat one for every whatever. And while they're eating these nasty freaking African cave spiders, they're getting bit in the mouth all over their tongue, their jaw, and everything, and until they swallow. I was like, and even Joe Rogan said it recently in his podcast a few years back. He's like, I don't understand why these people would go to that extreme for 50 grand when you're only going to get like maybe 15 grand out of it, maybe 20, because it's a luxury tax that come out. It's a gift. The only way to get that money is to win the entire thing. And it was only 50 grand. It's like, and then, I wouldn't do any of that stuff. I mean, some of the stuff I will admit looked fun. Like over the waters that you'd be in a helicopter or hanging from a helicopter and you had to grab the flags and stuff like that. Sure, that was it's the eating and drinking like the New York rat they put in a blender. Oh, good God. I would never do that. I would never do that. Not even for $1,000,000. I might do it for $1,000,000, and if I die, I die. Just leave it to my kids and grandkids and my siblings. But yeah, but 50 grand? No, no way. Especially nowadays, 50 grand is chump change. A little tobacco and you won't taste it. Texture makes me gag. Yeah, it's a sensory thing. My second to oldest grandchild he's very picky about what he eats, so I have to always be updated when he comes and stays the night or stays the weekend. Yeah, he doesn't like sauces like gravy or pizza sauce or tomato, yeah, it's a sensory thing to some people. And then I have a cousin and my one of my grandmas, rest in peace, um, they were very similar. They did not like if we had when we had Thanksgiving meal or a Christmas meal together, or back in the day, you have your stuffing, turkey, ham, whatever. If their food touched each other, they would not eat it. It's like it's going to the same freaking place. But I don't know. Everybody's different. Hey, sassy pants. Always lose at Brother Clown. Wait, broccoli wart slop and trans broccoli cuck Cole always lose at Brother Clown facts. Obi More Forever said. My thing is nice and smooth. Did you say Rust in Peace? That's one of my favorite albums. Okay. It's a tie between Peace Cells, but that is my favorite album by Megadeth is Rust in Peace. That and Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? But that's my favorite lineup. Well, they're both that's a tough one. Would you agree, Shelley? I think a lot of people I've seen like the reaction channels that react to what we grew up to say the same thing. Like they can't it's like a tie between Peace Sells and Who's Buying and Rust in Peace. It's just they're both equally good. But I don't know. I think my go-to album is probably Rust in Peace more than Peace Sells. But when I was younger, it was more than probably a little more Peace Sells than Rust in Peace. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's hard. I mean, they're equally my favorite. Euthanasia was pretty good. Um, that was a good album too. Countdown was pretty good, a little more commercial, but at least they went back to their roots. Unlike Metallica, Metallica has been trying to. Um, Before my stepson passed away, he had his favorite albums at that time was Queensryche, Promised Land. He fell asleep to that every night, by the way. Queensryche, Promised Land. And then he had He had, which I one of the few things I have here, we all split up a lot of his stuff between family members as obviously. I do have, his, Metallica, it was an '08, '09 album. Oh, shoot. Had the casket on the front, the coffin on the front. Oh, what was that album? The first album that Randy Castillo, not Randy Castillo, Robert Trujillo, played on. Good gosh, I can't even freaking remember it. They did Unforgiven 3 on that album. Does anybody remember the name of that one? Operation Mindcrime was excellent, absolutely. Yep. But anyways, oh, you don't care for Queensryche? I actually like everything from their, EP up to Promised Land, and then I do like the Todd La Torre 2013 album, it was pretty good. Rush is great. Oh, do you guys see I think Sassy, I think you're the one that sent me the link, wasn't it? Somebody did. I'm sorry if it wasn't you, but somebody sent me a link. And I was like, to the YouTube thing. So Triumph is literally back together and performing, and they sound great, especially for their age and how long they've been apart. That was awesome. Yeah, it was sad when the drummer Neil from Rush passed because he was one of the best drummers in history. TikTok, shut clown, LOL. Hey, where's Nanya at? I don't think I've seen Nanya. I didn't see Nanya in the last stream. She okay? I don't think she was in there, was she? I just looked up and saw the fake lock account. I didn't even know just now. Jeez. Oh no, that locksmith avatar that people use. It reminds me when I was young. There was a cartoon called Dennis the Menace. Most of you probably know who it is. Then there was a movie, I think Macaulay Culkin played in the movie when he was like after Home Alone, they came out with an actual movie called no, it was the other kid, Dennis the Menace. And then the neighbors, Mr. Wilson or whatever, he also played in Angry Old Men or whatever. Yeah. And then Christopher Lloyd actually played in that movie too. He was the hobo and he was busy smoking. And Richie Rich was Macaulay Culkin. Oh, okay, Richie Rich. Okay, I'm sorry, I got it mixed up. Richie Rich, yes, was Macaulay Culkins, and now you got me confused. Now, Dennis the Menace was played by another one. Yeah, so yeah, that is correct. Walter Matthew played Mr. Wilson. Yep, both came out in 1994, I believe. That sounds about right. And they redid as a slapstick comedy, which actually was pretty fun. Only the first one. I didn't like the ones after it. Um, the Brady Bunch, the movie. Remember that? I think it came out in 95 ish, somewhere around there. That was so funny. Well, it's kind of a spoiler, so spoiler alert, but some of the original characters from the original Brady Bunch come in at certain points during the end. Um, but it was funny because it was like the Brady. I mean, I remember in 1970 something as a little child watching the Brady Bunch and Little House on the Prairie and the Waltons and Gunsmoke and Bonanza and all that stuff. So I grew up to that stuff. And then it's kind of funny now when you got the movies that come out, like a almost like a mockumentary, but it's funny though. The first one was funny. I didn't like the other ones though. They weren't as good. Yeah, good question, Morphed. Morphed. Why does Annoyed have a video of Mama Ivy's dad in a casket on his channel? Also, why does he have pictures of my children and grandchildren, my nieces, my nephews on his YouTube channel? And why does he have it on his devices? Why was he charged for kidnapping? Why was he charged? See, there's so much stuff that a lot of people don't know. Yeah, I don't want to get into it. I've already, yeah, I'm trying to stay out. I'm letting law enforcement and the attorney, I'm letting everybody do their jobs. But yeah, why? Why is a good question. I don't understand it, except who knows? I don't know. Don't know. Sick minds, birds of a feather flock together, folks. That's all I can say. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. The early 90s felt like the 80s. Everything changed in 95. That is correct. They stretched out I would say 93 to be honest with you, because you had the newer glam metal bands and there was very few that went huge that just arrived, like Firehouse, Slaughter. Their first album went double platinum, each of those bands, by the way, and their second album barely went gold in 92. Damn Yankees' first album went double platinum. Their second album went gold, 92. Same with Warrant. They had two double platinum albums and they came out with Bitter Pill. It only went gold because grunge and what we call, see, back in the day, there was two differences. There was alternative rock, because to us, it was alternative to what we grew up to in the 80s. So Nirvana, I would say bands like Nirvana, Green Day, Weezer, just to name a few, we called them alternative rock, hard rock. And then grunge was like Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam. That was called grunge. And today they just classify it all into one group and call the 90s the grunge movement. It's like, no, it wasn't all grunge, because hip hop started getting popular, gangster rap started getting popular. You had the boy bands and the girl bands like Salt and Peppa, and you had Boys to Men, and you had gangster rap, which that was the only rap I really liked, with the Death Row records, and of course Tupac and uh, Eminem. That's one of my brother's favorites. My brother's also a rocker too, but he got more, and he's younger than me, so he kind of fell in the generation of, he likes both. His favorite band was Skid Row, for like, and so it was for me too. 89, he looked up to me, and obviously, and I'm his brother, and we had a band room with all of our equipment, and we had a band, and we were going out every weekend playing wherever we could. And so yeah, my brother thoroughly enjoys hard rock, heavy metal, but he got more into the rap than I did. I just got into like the Death Row records mainly. And Biggie Smalls was good too. I've got a lot of stuff on vinyl, CD, and cassette from that era. Warren G with Nate Dogg, rest in peace, Nate Dogg. That was really the end for me, mainly when it comes to. Oh, is Frogger here? Guess who I missed playing? I think it was last night. It was okay. So, it was Jelly Roll was the headliner. Jelly Roll was the headliner. I'm trying to remember. I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't know the names of the small print band or rappers that opened up. I just don't. I don't recognize, but I recognize, of course, the co-headliner. I just can't remember who it was right now. But I had an opportunity to go, and a couple of my kids went. They're adults, but whatever. Um, they went mainly for Jelly Roll, and I was like, man, I wish I could go, but we had stuff that we had to do, so I couldn't make it. But I think it'd be a cool tour if Tom McDonald and Jelly Roll and let's see who else. I know Jelly Roll does tour with a lot of metal artists or rock artists too. and country artists because he's got that country rap thing going, a little bit of rock. Rock music came from R&B. Yes, it did. That's exactly right. Suzanne, sister, was it Susanna Thorpe? Sister Thorpe, 1948. You can look up on YouTube. Everybody says Elvis created rock. Well, not really. He just made it into his own style. He mixed like R&B, blues, he mixed everything together. Then the way he danced wasn't done before and the pace and everything wasn't done before, but Sister Thorpe, I think her name was, or something, or Tharp. She was a black lady from, I believe, Tennessee or Mississippi, and she sang in the church choir, so she did gospel music, but she also basically created rock and roll. And also Little Richard, and I kind of get his point now. He was always mad at Elvis because, Elvis is considered the king of rock, and Little Richard said, "Hey, I was around before Elvis. Elvis just got recognized before he did," or something like that. That might be true too. Sincerely. Hold on just one second. Um, okay, that was this morning. All right. I thought there was a live catch, but that was earlier this morning. I got a notification today from somebody's channel that I'm a member on, and it was from, like, a year or 2 ago, and I don't know if they just re-uploaded it or if I mean, that happens to me all the t like, sometimes people will tag me, which I'm gonna turn off so nobody can tag me, by the way. I'm gonna turn that off in a month or 2. Nobody's gonna be able to tag me. I'm gonna turn that off. But anyways, I usually don't get those tags until days later. So it'll drop down, I'll be logged in or whatever, and it will drop down and say so and so tagged you in a video or mentioned you in a video or whatever. And I'll be like, okay, so I'll go check it out. And it's like 5 days ago. And I just now got the notification. So that's if anybody's ever tagged me to be somewhere and like, hey, you should check this out. It's better just to DM me. Well, even that, sometimes I take a couple days or a week before I get to some of the DMs, but yeah, I'm just too busy to be especially if it's like, "Oh, Jeff, come up on" I'm not gonna jump on no panel when I'm spending time with my family. Good lord. There's a couple times where I literally had to walk away from a birth my grand one of my grandchild's birthday parties because it was kind of an urgent situation. I said, "I'll be right back." I stepped in, a quiet room or stepped in somewhere or whatever real quick just to it's like, dude, I'm busy with my family. But I would do the little say what I need to say, then I'm gone. I log it off. I'm logged off or whatever. And I'm going back to spend my family is more important than freaking the internet. Rosetta Tharpe. Okay, thank you, Shelley. Elvis never wrote his own music. Yeah, most people wrote it for him. That was a pretty common thing though, all the way up to the 70s. Even in the eight even today, actually. It's funny watching my father watching I was hearing, he was playing The Sound of Silence by, I don't it was just, what's his name? Damon, oh gosh, the lead singer, Draymond, Dave Draymond, or whatever his name is. It was on some kinda show, so I think it wasn't the whole band, but it was him, and then he had, like, an orchestra or something, and he's doing The Sound of Silence. And my dad says, "You gotta this guy can sing. This guy is good." I was like, "Dad, that's heavy metal. He's the lead singer from Disturbed." So I showed him some other Disturbed stuff, and my dad actually likes it at his age. He likes Disturbed. That's pretty cool. When I was growing up, my mom was a huge fan of Twisted Sister and AC/DC. AC/DC, let's see, Twisted Sister, she had a crush on, Brian Johnston, lead singer of AC/DC. She loved his voice. She loved Bruce Springsteen, John Mellencamp, see who else? Selena, the 90s. I believe that rock, R&B, and country were all created from different places. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think the rhythm and blues, rock and roll came from the South. It really did. Louisiana, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. There's a lot of jazz and blues that came from that area. San Francisco had a lot of jazz and blues too, but a lot of it came from the South. What do you guys think of Michael Jackson being called the late Michael Jackson being called the king of pop? Whether he's guilty or not, of whatever the accusations or whatever, he was proven not guilty. But whether you believe he was guilty or not, as far as the term and his music, do you believe that's a true statement that he's the king of pop? Because what about Prince? What about Prince? Prince could play over 145 plus instruments, literally. I got to meet the guy. Got to jam with the guy for a half hour in Minneapolis. He literally could play anything on the guitar. He could play anything on the drums. He could hit those high. I mean, look what he did with Purple Rain. I mean, golly, that thing went what 13 times platinum? Went diamond. But Michael Jackson's Thriller went triple diamond here in America. He was, but I preferred Prince. Yeah, I mean, I admit Michael Jackson's album, "Cannot Get Enough," the one before Thriller, that album, Thriller, and the one that had, oh my gosh, what was the song? It was in '92, the Human song, the World song, something like that. I can't, not We Are the World, not that one, don't get it confused. But that album, my oldest grandson got that for me. How precious. Um, I actually like that album, but that's really the only albums I liked from Michael Jackson. Prince, I have 1999 still on vinyl, and I got the re-release vinyl. I got the CD. I don't have any of my 8 tracks or cassettes, so I got 1999. I got Purple Rain, and then the 2 after that is the only ones I like from Prince. So there's 2 more album well, 1 more album more from Prince that I like than I do Michael Jackson, so the guitar, absolutely. Were you ever in a yeah, I've showed it on, embarrassingly enough, when I was drinking, I showed my band I was 16 playing guitar on the upper left, people have seen it. I showed it one time on my panel and other panels, it's embarrassing. I look at it now and I'm embarrassed, but hey, we were just doing our thing. I was in a couple bands, more than a couple, actually. Watch Prince cover While My Guitar Gently Weeps, right? That is, and the thing of it is, it's a build-up because all the other guitarists that play first, and then you kinda get a glimpse of Prince on stage right, and then towards the end, he just comes up forward and just nails it. I'm gonna watch that right after I get off here, actually. I am gonna watch that. Now you're making me wanna watch that video again. Purple Rain album was awesome. Oh, yeah, When the Doves Cry, that was my favorite. That's always gonna be okay, here's my favorite by Prince. I would say Raspberry Beret, Little Red Corvette, 1999, When the Doves Cry, and, of course, Purple Rain. That's 5 already, isn't it? Damn it. Let's Go Crazy. Oh my gosh, there's so many good songs by Prince. Michael Jackson? Hmm. I can't think of the name of the song, but it's on the album before Thriller. Can't Get Enough, something like that. I can't think of the name, but whatever that song is. And then Billie Jean, Thriller, Beat It, Bad, I don't know, and that one song, that the Human Universe song or whatever that was in the 90, yeah, early 90s. 1999 was great though. 1999 is actually about to go diamond. If you look at Wikipedia, it's almost to 10 million copies sold. Injustice for All by Metallica is about to go diamond. It's about to go 10 million copies sold in the US. And then not Enter, their Black album in 1990 or 1991 went double diamond last year, finally. It went double diamond. Metallica's the Black album with the snake on it, self-titled album. It went double diamond officially by the RIAA last year. Don't stop till you get enough. There you go. I couldn't think of the word. Don't stop till you get enough. I love that song. One of my favorites by Prince. Let's see what this one is. Oh, the most beautiful girl in the world. Yes, that is a great song. I forgot about that one. All right. All right. I gotcha. That is a good song. I think that was on the album before, and the same one of Can't Get Enough or Don't Stop, Get Enough, whatever. I think it was on that album. I think. Or no, that was Michael Jackson. Sorry. I meant 1999. No, 1999 had Little Red Corvette and 1999 on it. The most beautiful girl in the Oh, what album was that on? Oh, I gotta go back to my chat. I was looking at the video here. Darn it. I can't even see chat. Hold on. Probably already answered it. I just didn't know it. This went on forever. I was only gonna do like a 10-minute thing because I wanted to finish stating what I wanted to state on the last live, but let's see here. First Prince album was 78. Is that the song Girl in the World by Prince, Most Beautiful Girl in the World by Prince? So it was on his first album? Hmm. Okay. And you know what? Here's something weird too. When I was growing up, and I'm sure those who are around my age will understand this and understand the meaning to it. Like a lot of my friends, they'd be like, "Man, Poison's cock rock." Remember that term? The glam metal scene, especially the late 80s. There was a lot of bands that were so great, like look at Vito Bratta from White Lion. He literally, like, not only did he look like Eddie Van Halen, he played like Eddie Van Halen. And they did meet, and you can find it on YouTube. Their last, they did this documentary before they split up. And Mike Tramp is the lead singer of Winger. He's still doing his thing. He went to the Monsters of Rock cruise. My friend runs the Monster of Rock cruise and lives here in Albuquerque. He's going to be on our podcast hopefully sometime soon. He'll talk about that too. But there were some people like Mr. Big, they had like one or two hits. Extreme had a couple hits. And then but there are some underrated bands, and then some people would call it like cock rock. I'm like, "No, not really. Just listen to it. Listen to the technique of the guitar, the drums, or the bass, or the singing. I mean, it's not Metallica, it's not Anthrax, it's not Slayer, but it's still good." Charlie Rich. The most beautiful girl in the world has my dad's song to my mom. That's pretty cool. There was two songs. So my wife and I got married, my ex-wife, I should say. When we got married, we picked two songs. We did Love of a Lifetime by Firehouse, and then we did Statler Brothers. I'll go to my grave, loving you, loving you. I can't sing, but that's the two songs we chose at our reception for the first dance. Firehouse. Oh, just wait. Our first interview is going to be live, and it just might be somebody from that band. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Maybe I said too much. I saw Van Halen was my first major concert. First major concert. Van Hagar. I saw and what's crazy is I saw Sammy Hagar solo. I saw Van Halen, but with the Hagar era, and then I saw David Lee Roth solo. And I haven't seen Wolfgang yet, but I do have his first album only on vinyl. I couldn't find it on CD. He released a second album. I'm gonna have to probably go to Amazon to find that. But I've been watching his stuff on YouTube. I did not realize how good he can sing. Well, it depends on the day, but he can sing really good. And he can, he played the bass when he was with his dad's band, Van Halen, for a while, and on their final album, but he played bass. And I was like, why is he playing bass? Like, his dad's Eddie Van Halen. You think he'd play the guitar? Well, he does. And he plays it just like his dad. He's damn good at it. Play the drums like his uncle too, Alex Van Halen. Yeah, rest in peace to CJ. He is generally a good dude. Generally a good dude. And Nate, who's the new lead singer, um, just wait, folks. Just wait. I don't want to shut my mouth. So anyway, but both. I preferred Sammy. Yeah, well, I kind of wished I would have saw David Lee Roth in his prime with Van Halen when he was doing all the ninja stuff and jumping off the freaking what was it? I don't know how many feet high he was jumping off and land doing the splits. Like holy shit! He was a showman. Uh, yeah, I missed all that. But Sammy Hagar, he could sing the ballads better. He had a lot of energy to him in a different way. I think he was much kinder to the fans. He always has been. So I don't know. I think my favorite albums with Hagar are definitely 5150 and For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Those are my favorite albums, even though Black and Blue was a great tune off of OU812. And there was another song that was good, but it just wasn't, for me, it wasn't my cup of tea. I bought it, but I didn't really listen to it that much. 5150, I don't know. The ballad stuff was for me coming like 1984, in my opinion, in the first album. And I have to throw in Fair Warning in there too. Those are my favorite albums by Van Halen. The first one, oh, dude, Van Halen 2 is a banger too, though. That one's hard. That's a hard one. Yeah, that's a hard. If somebody was to ask me my favorite album by Van Halen, I'd have to say their first one, to be honest with you. Yeah, their first album, and then 1984, and then Fair Warning. Steve Vai, Randy Rhoads is what got me to play the guitar, and to this day, I have the original tablatures for my guitar that my mom got me for Christmas when I was like 12 years old. I still got my Randy Rhoads tablature book and my Metallica Ride the Lightning tablature book in mint condition almost. But yeah, Randy Rhoads and Eddie Van Halen were my main, and Dimebag Darrell. Well, back then we just called him Diamond Darrell. Before the world knew who Pantera was, I knew them personally, so we just called him Diamond Darrell. But and then my friend that passed away that played with Pantera a lot back in the day, and he got offered the job to take CC DeVille's spot and turned it down, and unfortunately he ended up dying from a heroin overdose, like a lot of my friends did from Dallas. Um, I won't say his name, but he was a guitarist that wasn't really recognized like he should have been. He had the opportunities, but he was more worried about the heroin. So, but yeah, those three guitarists. Zach Wild's a good guitarist. Jakey Lee was a great guitar. Ozzy had some of the best guitarists, all the way to Black Sabbath, the Tony Iommi. Jeff, you seen Pure Incel around? All right, I'm glad you brought that up, Cap. So what happened? I sincerely do. Okay, here's what I do know, or what I understand. I don't know if it's true. So, like I said, I'm not on YouTube hardly at all. I log in and I log out. So I'm not getting all these notifications. So all I know is something happened to Pure or F Your Feelings, whatever, about CPPWV. That's all I know. Is that am I gathering that correctly? Wait, he flicked it right at me. I have a gold pick from no way, Shelly. Are you serious? You are so lucky. All I've got's a red DLR pick from the David Lee Roth solo concert in which his bodyguards broke the door of my mom's Tahoe, and then my brother was going to jump out and start kicking everybody's ass because my brother never loses a fight. And that was the only bad experience like that we ever had with and kind of a like to get rid of my fiance at the time. This is when we were, dating and stuff and just barely engaged. That was the only concert at this particular venue that they wouldn't allow us backstage. We were good friends with the owner. I dated the head waitress before I was married, before I met my now ex-wife. So we had all access to every concert, but David Lee Roth had his own security team and his own rules and contract, and he was a prick. They treated us like shit. And they came out and I was like, dude, we're leaving. We made, my mom was watching the kids. So she was our designated driver slash babysitter. We called and we're like, hey, it's 1:30 in the morning. Everybody's gone, but David Lee Roth and his guards. I don't think we're going to get his autograph or anything or get to meet him. So we're just waiting to get picked up. And they started shoving us and her and my brother pull up and shit. My brother was only, gosh, 18, 19 at the time. We were probably about 23, 24, something like that. And oh my gosh, I wish we had smartphones back then. I would have went live on that shit. That was wild. But they did throw me a pic and I kept it. All right, let me go back. I know I missed a lot of shit. Val is one of the greats. Or Vi. Sorry, I thought you meant Valerie Bertinelli, Eddie Van Halen's ex-wife, the father or the mother of Wolfgang. Steve Vai. Yes, Steve Vai is one of the best. Joe Satriani is one of the best. Absolutely. There's so many great guitarists. Mick Mars, another underrated guitarist. David Lee Roth songs, just like Yankee. Yes, Yankee wrote. Like I said, when I was living in Iowa, out in the country, we had this one station and it was ran literally by my sister's boyfriend's dad. Okay. And he ran the only rock station and it was hard to get a signal. So we would drive to my cousin's just a few miles away in this little tiny town and they had a really good signal. So I heard three songs for the first time all at once. So I was introduced to Whitesnake at that time and Guns N' Roses because of this. So my now late cousin, he says, you got to hear these new songs and these new bands or whatever. I'm like, okay. And he says, they usually play them in a row on the radio. I was like, well, what's our chances of getting to hear it while we're here for an hour and a half? He's like, pretty good. And literally about 5 minutes later, I hear for the very first time, Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. That was my introduction to Guns N' Roses. It wasn't Welcome to the Jungle, it was Sweet Child of Mine. I take that back. No, we did see Welcome to the Jungle on MTV when it aired. My bad. But I wasn't putting two and two together. But anyways, I heard Sweet Child of Mine, then Yankee Rose came on, and I was like, holy shit, the guitarist is making the guitar talk. He's like, David, what? Wow, wow. Go outside and take a look. Yes. Wow. Wow. She is beautiful. Wow. Wow. I'm talking about a Yankee Rose. And he makes guitar laugh. Wow, 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 wow. I was hooked. And then the last one is what introduced me to Whitesnake. And it was Still the Night. I was floored. I was hooked. So I immediately went out and I bought I had Crazy from the Heat already on the EP on vinyl. David Lee Roth's first EP solo record in '85. I already had that. So I went out and bought Eat 'Em and Smile. I eventually got Whitesnake 1987, and of course Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction, which I don't know how many copies of that I have on vinyl, cassette, CD. I think I even who knows how many copies in different formats I have that on. Thank you for the sparkles, Kim. I appreciate that. I just saw that. Thank you. Flicked it right at you. Did my chat just lock up or is everybody leaving? All right, I'll get off here, folks. I was only going to do like 10 minutes because I forgot to say something. I probably used up all my notifications today because when you post something to your community page, apparently it counts as a notification. So, all right, I'll see y'all probably not for a while, probably for the expose, aside from one panel that somebody asked me to do. So there might be one panel before that, but or something happens, I need to hop on here and do this for something. But all right. Yeah, I think it's locked up. Let me refresh. Oh, wait. Yeah, it was locked up. You know, a guitarist who never got enough credit. Eddie Hazel, Maggot Brain. Okay, that sounds familiar, but yet I literally don't know. It sounds familiar. Maybe something when I was like 12, 14, like something, because I was into a lot of different Overkill, Creator with a K, Man of War. I say Overkill, like Money Hungry, Power Thirsty, Penny Pitching, Aaron Flicking, Double Crossing, Backstabbing, Promising the Attorney for a Price, Sucking Brian. I can't say the rest of the YouTube. Yeah, Overkill, DRI, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles, what it stands for, Suicidal Tendencies, great band. I was into so much stuff, and I just don't know if I heard any of them, but it does sound familiar. Look it up, Jeff. I definitely will. Let me screenshot it real quick so I don't forget. He was that Jim. Wait. He was better than Jimmy, in my opinion. Okay, so my opinion on Jimi Hendrix, is that you're talking about? Jimi Hendrix? Okay, here's this has always been my opinion on Jimi Hendrix. First of all, he was left-handed, as everybody should know, except for Ryan. He probably wouldn't know. Take care, Robbie. I just saw, I guess you're leaving or something. Um, but anyways, how do I explain this? Yes, he was an innovator. Absolutely. Um, I heard he invented the distortion pedal. I could be wrong. I don't know. But he did kick things up and playing the guitar upside down instead of getting a left-handed guitar. I don't think they were available back then. If they were hard to get or it had to be special ordered. So what he did with that guitar with his talent was a game changer. It really sincerely was. So props to Jimi Hendrix. I only have one album, the Jimi Hendrix Experience or whatever it's called. I have it on vinyl and CD. I don't even think I have it on cassette. But so Purple Rain and there's a few other songs. Great. But for me, the game changer was Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads. And then again, Daryl Abbott, Dimebag Daryl. Steve Vai, Satriani, Jakey Lee, Zach Wild, John Five is probably the last guitar innovator, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Yngwie Malmsteen was great for shredding, but for technique, like like Randy Rhoads had the classical mixed with you know, the metal. Eddie Van Halen had the tapping skills and the little secrets, which is what I guess that's probably why I kind of plateaued in my guitar because I was more interested in learning how to do we used to say back in the day, learning the impossible, like to do the dime bag squeals and the Eddie Van Halen solos and all that, the tapping and all that stuff. I was more interested in learning the what we call the secrets of the guitar and the pick harmonics and all that stuff and rhythm. So I wasn't much of a lead guitarist. I learned a few scales and stuff like that. And the first lead solos I ever learned and I got my wah wah pedal, so it was Enter Sandman, the solo to Enter Sandman, and the solo, which is very simple, to Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. That was the first two solos I ever learned on my guitar. It was the Enter Sandman solo and Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. John Five is a badass. He can play anything. That's right, he can. Peter Frampton, man, yeah, I should try my camera. So his final tour, I've got a whole bunch of VIP stuff. Uh, I don't want to. I promise. I'll show you guys everything next time. I played clarinet in a marching band. Haha, I'm a goober. Hey, clarinet's pretty cool, but I can read music. See, I can't read music. I can only read tablature. They had and Eddie Van Halen is the reason that they made tablature. It was impossible to put it to music notes, so they came out with tablature. And Randy Rhoads, I think, was part of the reason. Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads are the reasons why tablature was made. Receipts on YouTube. Just type in how it feels to be an American Eddie Van Halen interview, and he's on stage and he tells the story. So there's a receipt. True, Jeff. Yep. You know what's up, Shelly. Hey, Rumsky. Do you feel like we do? Wait, do you feel like we do is my fave. Wait, do you feel like we do? Why am I not getting that? Oh my gosh, it sounds so familiar. My memory sucks so bad. I can read and write music and play a CP. That is awesome. Oh, you got the okay. I learned mainly by hearing. It kind of runs in my family. My uncle, we had some artists in our family, so you know, my uncle, one of my cousins, and we all did it by ear. And the only thing I used tablature. That's the only tablature books I had. I think I might have had one more, but the Randy Rhoads stuff, I couldn't figure it out just by listening to it, like the solos, like Revelation Mother Earth. That was the song, Revelation Mother Earth off of Blizzard of Oz. And of course, Diary of a Madman off of Diary of a Madman. Those are what got me into Randy Rhoads, which got me into guitar. Before that, Van Halen, of course. I was just a kid. I was just a wee little wad. But yep, it was basically Randy Rhoads and Eddie Van Halen that got me in the guitar. Awesome, Rumsky. I can do either. What was that little? Okay, so it wasn't called a flute. It was those little. I think every Generation X at least knows what I'm talking about. Those little what are they called? Recorders. They called them recorders. That's what they were called. It was like you get them every year for like so many grades. It was like fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh grade, and you had the recorder. It was called a recorder. It was like a black little flute thingy. I remember getting those every year. You guys remember those? A vape? Yeah, that'd be 2026. Here, kids, here's a vape. That's terrible. Oh, freaking Robbie. Who's the woman that my daughters went and saw her? She plays the violin and fills up arenas for like metal bands. I can't think of her name. Is it the violin? Yeah, it's the violin, I think. But she's really good at it though. I can't think of her name. She opened for like Kiss or Poison or some shit or Motley Crue or I mean, she opens for like major bands, metal, hard rock, 80s style bands. I can't think of her name though. Kim, I'm not a great player, but I was best at dance and taught dance. Music is life. Yes, music is so powerful. It really is. It's universal. Yeah, it's very cool. Frampton. Okay, sorry. I know I miss a lot of chat. I apologize. And there's not that many people here too, so I should be able to keep up better now. This is only supposed to be like a 10, 15-minute one. Oh, you know how long we've been live? Probably, gosh. Then I had that little brief panel thing. I don't know why Ryan does that stuff. I don't know why he does that. It's really none of his business. Like, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I just straight up lie to him, or I'll just say something to just whatever. I know where he's getting at, and he wants to try to project it like I'm Ryan, didn't you say you had see this? Oh, shut up! This is why I don't like the drama. I mean, he admitted that he had CSAM on his device and didn't turn it in or something of that nature. Should have asked him that, but I don't know. I don't know. Hold on, we got a silver alert again. Albuquerque Police Department seeks help locating 77-year-old Ruth Home. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Holy shit, that's a weird name. Last seen today at 11:30 a.m. near Thornton Avenue Northeast and Quintana Drive Northeast in Albuquerque, wearing a light-colored shirt, light blue jeans, and bright blue athletic shoes, 5'6", 125. If you live in the area, that's why I'm reading this out. It's a silver alert. Brown hair, hazel eyes. If seen, call APD or 911 or fb.com dash blah 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 blah. And there's been a lot of these I've had, this is the third, I think, in the last week, the silver alerts. Usually it's amber alerts, but there's been a lot of these silver alerts lately. Oh, one more thing before I go. Hey, I did post on my community page. You're gonna see, I think his name is his channel, I think is called Antoine Daniel or something. And he's reacting to this lady who's something that there's a new thing going around, and this is based on a true story. Go watch. Sorry, got the hiccups again. All right, so I got heartburn. I took my medicine this morning too, so I shouldn't have it. Another silver alert. Is this the same one? Oh, it's the same one. Why did it send it to me twice? Well, that's weird. Now, what was I talking about? Oh shit, son of a bitch. What was I just saying? Golly, one little thing gets me off track. Anyways, unless somebody reminds me, I just completely forgot my train of thought. Anyways, probably a good idea. Anyways, I'm gonna get off here, folks. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I don't know. I may throw these up on members. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. All right. I'm going to go, folks. There is no outro. This is just YouTube. See you later, Kim, Rumsky, Shelly, Robbie. Yeah, that's all the chatters left, and the other people that are lurking and screen recording and all that stuff. All right. God bless y'all. Cap, Kim. Oh, we got. Oh, that was the see OBM forever. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know if I saw the answer with the pure virus F your feelings account or whatever that I'm looking down, I'm looking down. I don't see a response from Cap. I'll be honest with you. Look, if that's the case, then if he comes in here, just ban him. If that's a true story, you guys know what's going on more than I do. All right, I appreciate it. We'll see you either on a panel that somebody wants me to do, or the a pop up live like this, or a the expose. One of those. Later, clown. Later, Shelly. Is Nunny gonna go live soon again? Or Sabby? Or Clown? Anybody? Thanks, Johnny. But yeah, Clown, you even regret saying that. I mean, you even told me that. Like, I don't know. I I would never say that personally. I remember watching that live, and you were just being ganged up upon. I mean, I personally wouldn't have said that, and I don't agree with what you said, but anger sometimes drives us to say something dark. I guess that's probably what I should have said to Ryan. I don't know. Whatever. It's like when Bobby did his 2 things. I was like, "Okay, yeah, it's bad, it's dark." I see comedians saying that they say darker shit than that. You know what I mean? But, Ryan's gonna probe and he's gonna make up his own narrative. You know how Ryan is. And I'm sitting here literally trying to be as supportive on his catching and everything as possible, even though we don't get along. In fact, I think the last time or 2 that he was up here, we actually, for the most part, had a decent conversation. But Ryan's gonna be Ryan, you know. It was a sarcastic reaction. There you go. Exactly. Thank you, clown. Took the words right out of my subconscious. It's all downhill from here. Yeah. Happy birthday, oh, it's your birthday? Happy birthday, Shelly. 87th. Oh, goodness. Damn, I'll be 51 this year. It's crazy. I ain't even got used to being 50 yet. I'm gonna be 51. Crazy. I'll hit your Cash App on the 3rd, Shelly. $5. $5, make a holla. What was that movie, Clown, Shelly? Whoever's here, you guys probably remember that. With that, we were kids. There was like some great movies in the 80s. Stand by Me, Explorers, Weird Science, blah blah blah. There was this one movie, and I can never think of the name of it. But when we were teenagers, we would walk around. We were probably like 12, 13 when that movie came out. But there's this. It's a movie where a kid's on a bicycle and he's out to get his $2. He's all $2, $2. And I don't know, we used to walk around saying that in middle school. $2, what movie was that? I can't think of the name of that movie. But he was obsessed about getting he was owed like $2 for something, mowing a lawn or something for somebody. I don't remember. Anybody remember that movie? Better Off Dead? Okay. And you guys got some freaking pop culture going on here. My mind is burnt. I burnt too many brain cells. Oh, shoot. Oh, and to you more, and not to you guys in chat, to you idiots who are going around saying, Jeff's still drinking. Jeff's still drinking. No, I haven't. And I won't. And for the idiot that would say, until you quit drinking, I'm not gonna, which I don't care. I do what I want. But, and then this person says, I wish Jeff would start drinking again. It's like, what the hell? It just goes to show that you're not going to find virtually any real friends from the internet. I'm just being 100 with you. I've met a lot of people from YouTube, and I'm not kidding you. There's only maybe 2 people that I am literally cool with. And there's another one that we actually DM'd today, and we kind of had a little thing. And you know what? You might see us live in IRL at some point, just for some different content. It'll be interesting. Anyways, I gotta go. I keep saying that. I'm gonna bail. I'm just gonna keep talking. John Cusack. That name sounds so familiar too. Wasn't he a movie star or something? Or a game show host? One of those 2. I can't remember. He was 80s, 90s actor or something if I remember correctly. John Cusack, John Cusack. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Not Family Feud, I don't think. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know he's an actor, I just can't. What I was it Who's the Boss? Or is that Scott Baio? Man, John Cusack, John Cusack. Good lord, what movie or show was he on? 16 Candles. Wait, he was on 16 Candles? Wait, was he the dude that chased around what's her name? And he was also in Pretty in Pink or whatever. I can't think of that redhead's name. Oh gosh, she was in the Breakfast Club too. Molly, Molly, something. Molly. Oh gosh, back of my head. Oh my gosh, tip of tongue. Molly Ringworm, Ringwald. Molly Ringwald. There we go. She was in the Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, and the one you just mentioned, 16 Candles. Yeah, Ringwald. There you go. Man, that was when he died. He did all those great movies until Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or whatever, and then he just disappeared. Well, then of course we found out. You just look it up on YouTube. He went back home to Chicago. He did Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Weird Science, and all those great shows. Home Alone, just a bunch of movies. John Hughes, I think it was his name. Breakfast Club, and then he just quit. And then we found out he went to Haiti, just moved back to Chicago, and all the Christmas Vacation, all the movies he filmed. Did you know? Look it up on YouTube. It's really, really neat. There's channels dedicated to that shit. They will show you the sites of all those movies, like where Ferris Bueller lived in the movie Ferris Bueller. It's on the same street, and down the street is where Home Alone house was filmed. Then you go further down the street, and that's where the Breakfast Club was filmed. Then you go at a different. It's crazy, but yeah, he kept it all in a certain area of Chicago. So all those movies, Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, The Breakfast Club, 16, they were almost all of them were filmed in Chicago. I mean, there were some cuts taken in LA and some other places for small parts, but yeah, it's pretty neat. All right, Warbot rented the I don't think Warbot's even on YouTube anymore. I don't know. I don't have anything to do with any of them anymore, so I don't care. They can say what they want. They're being looked at, so I'll let law enforcement, and if they're doing something illegal, they'll take care of it. So, all right, folks, I really sincerely gotta go. I know, Robbie. All right. Hasta la pasta. That was fun. Take care, folks.